I have played a lot of Famicom games based on popular comics and cartoons of the time. It's only natural that those would be popular source material for adapting into Famicom games. Heisei Tensai Bakabon, however, is on a whole other level. I don't think any other Famicom game goes so far in trying to capture the animation style of its source material. Tensai Bakabon was a very, very long-running comic about a family that wasn't very bright. Bakabon's the son, but similar to another animated family sitcom, eventually his father was really the main character. Even though his father was never given a name, he's just called Papa. The game's title is Heisei Tensai Bakabon because it was based on the then newest cartoon, which was called Heisei because that's the new imperial period. The story of the game is that Bakabon's mother has been abducted by students at the university, and so Papa has to work his way through the university clubs in order to rescue her. There's 4 different clubs that you have to get through: Circus Club, Ninja Club, the Athletics Club, and the Science Club. And each club has 4 stages plus a boss. The game is a platformer, and as you're playing, A will jump, holding down B will run, and tapping B will pull out your umbrella. Your umbrella is a useful tool, but one thing it can't do is attack. Except for mini-bosses. Then you can poke them with it. But they're the only things that you can poke. So what you'll really be doing most of the time is just trying to avoid everything. And that is a task that is much easier said than done. Part of the challenge here is that Heisei Tensai Bakabon has a ton of animation for Papa, and that results in him playing very slowly so that the animations can all complete. If you hit B to pull out or put away the umbrella, you're stuck in place for a few seconds. Or if you fall down too far and get stunned, well, you're going to be sitting there for a while. This becomes a significant problem when you get hit by something and then get knocked down into it again. By the time your recovery animation completes, you're getting hit again, and possibly again. Papa's slow movement also affects how you platform around. While you can run, you probably don't want to do a whole lot of it, because he becomes rather uncontrollable. Instead, you'll need to jump, and then scramble up ledges, or wedge yourself into a small space and climb up. Make sure you're facing the correct direction when you do this so that you can climb out properly at the top. As you're falling, you can hit B to pull out the umbrella and slow your descent. Sometimes. Sometimes you'll have crossed into the falling animation and then can't pull out the umbrella. You could grapple onto some points with the umbrella, and you'll have to time the swing so you can launch yourself. Platforming in Heisei Tensai Bakabon requires a lot of precision. You're going to bump into quite a few jumps that you basically have to perform perfectly. Other moves that Papa can do are crawl around on his belly to get under things. And if he sees a tightrope or balance beam, he can pull out the umbrella and stay balanced as he crosses it. If there's a tall single post, he can use the umbrella to boost himself up to those. They do require a running jump to get over them. And some stages have springs that you can launch Papa from. You're on a timer as you play every stage, and the timer is a lot shorter than you think it is. If it runs out, then it starts draining away your life. So you do have a moment before you die. You only get 1 life in Heisei Tensai Bakabon, but sometimes when you die your pet will come out delivering milk, and if you hit the A button at the right moment, Papa will snatch it up and recover. While you're running around the stages, you'll find spots that you can stand on, and it will make an item appear. There's really only 2 power-ups that you can find. Ramen, which increases your maximum health by 1, and Milk, which restores 3 health points. When you extend your bar, you don't get any additional health to go with it, so you will have to find Milk after you find Ramen. The bosses in Heisei Tensai Bakabon are pretty distinctive. They're never straight-up fights, you always have to do something special. Like for the ninja boss, you have to collect the points that are ticking down. Or for this clown, you have to catch the balls that he's throwing. When you defeat a boss, your maximum health permanently increases by 1, so when you die and have to continue, you'll at least have 1 more point of health. You're given passwords after every stage in the game, so this is one that it's possible to beat with a bit of persistence. The game Heisei Tensai Bakabon doesn't seem to have a lot of fans in Japan, or at least very few people mention playing it. A strange thing about the Famicom game is that 3 months later, a Game Boy version was released that is almost identical. It's actually kind of eerie how close it is. My feeling on the game is that it's good looking, but it's also more frustrating to play than it really should be. Those slow, drawn-out animations drag the game to a halt and wind up becoming your enemy more than entertainment. The incredibly tight timing on everything doesn't help either. The game isn't bad, it's just something that you'd play once and then go, okay, that was fine, and move on.